Hi, it's Dr. Elisha Van Dusen at New Hope Chiropractic with part two on ways you can prevent cancer with simple everyday precautions. One thing that has been shown to cause cancer too is viruses and bacteria. While viruses and bacteria pose serious short-term risks, some are also posing long-term health problems like the Epstein-Barr virus and HIV. They're linked to cancer through a number of studies. And some researchers believe that at least 95% of the population is genetically impacted by the Epstein-Barr virus by adulthood. And EBV is most known for causing mono or the kissing disease, but most EBV infections aren't noticeable. Even when active in the body, a lot of people suffer no symptoms or immediate consequences, and it's dormant until it's triggered by stressors like exposure to pesticides or mold, nutritional deficiencies, toxic heavy metal exposure, mental trauma. All these things can bring a dormant virus back to life. And in a 2016 study, researchers found that breast cells bonded to the Epstein-Barr virus and transformed into an aggressive cancer caused some serious problems. And for this reason, these researchers concluded that EBV may increase the rate of the growth of malignant breast cancer. And also, research shows that individuals with HIV face a higher risk of developing Kaposi sarcoma, which is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and also cervical cancer. And so viruses, these AIDS-defining conditions are there because someone with HIV also has some of these conditions, so it can signify the development of AIDS and also increase the incidence of cancer. Working the night shift, believe it or not, can also increase your chances of developing cancer. Nearly 15% of Americans work the night shift, and this late night work may be increasing cancer risk in some people. In a study of mice, for example, MIT researchers found that two genes that are involved with controlling cells' circadian rhythms, the 24-hour cycle that regulates when you go to sleep and when you wake up, also function as tumor suppressors. And given that the body's circadian rhythms, or the master clock, works primarily in response to light and darkness in the environment, night shifts interfere with your body's natural circadian rhythm. So that's another thing that can cause problems with cancer. They did a study where researchers divided mice into two groups. One group of mice went through a normal light schedule, 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark, and then they exposed the other group to an extra 8 hours of light every 2 to 3 days. And compared with the control group, the mice that had the abnormal lighting experienced faster and more aggressive tumor growth. Also, burnt food can be an issue. Cancer is linked to fried food and inflammation. May not be surprised, but there's more to this story. Acrylamide is a chemical created in starchy foods like potatoes and toast. When they're cooked at higher temperatures, like frying, baking, or broiling above 248 degrees Fahrenheit, seems to trigger this acrylamide formation, which, while boiling in the microwave, that's less likely to do so. And this acrylamide can damage DNA and cause cancer, possibly in animals. So that's definitely something that most people don't think about. So avoid eating starchy foods, and don't cook them as much. Just cook them to a golden shade, and don't burn them. Avoid frying, baking, or broiling for long amounts of time, and that can keep this acrylamide formation at bay. And you can also soak raw, sliced, or cut spuds for 30 minutes and before you cook them, these potatoes, and that decreases the acrylamide levels. Also, a sedentary lifestyle has contributed to cancer, increases in cancer formation. A 2014 analysis by the University of Regensburg, Germany, published in the Journal of National Cancer Institute, they assessed the correlation between TV viewing time, recreational sitting time, and occupational sitting time, and total sitting time as it relates to cancer risk. And when comparing to the highest levels of sedentary behavior to the lowest, they found that more sedentary participants faced a higher risk of colon cancer, endometrial cancer, and lung cancer. And the risk of cancer increased with each 2-hour increase in sitting time. And this seemed to be the case regardless of physical activity, which shows that, or implies that, a large amount of time spent sitting can still be detrimental even if you're otherwise physically active and doing some exercise. So sitting for hours and hours can sometimes be inevitable, especially if you have an office job. Avoid falling into a trap of sedentary lifestyle. Try standing desk where you're sitting and standing, getting up and down, moving around. Use an exercise ball instead of a conventional office chair, and set alarms on your cell phone, for example, to remind yourself to stand up and stretch every so often while you're sitting. So all these things can help with decreasing your cancer risk, and also remember to get adjusted on a regular basis to increase your mobility, help you exercise more, and help your nervous system function better so that your body as a whole is healthier. So check us out at newhopechiropractic.com and have a healthy day.